right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 8:30 in the morning. I'm back on the East Coast, so we'll be doing this a little bit live sooner. Hope this is working live. I haven't been on this equipment in a while, but it's April 11th. A lot to cover here. All right, so we have a few announcements. We have Newsweek here. Let's go into what is going down today. As far as things that we have to consider or watch today or this week, it's going to be CPI. We have a lot of macroeconomics numbers coming out this week. The one that we're going to have to watch is PPI and CPI. I think CPI comes out tomorrow. So good morning, guys. Good morning, James. Good morning, James. Good morning, Moses. So PPI comes out tomorrow. That's our CPI, right? And here, 8:30 in the morning. We know those numbers are going to be running hot. So how hot? Now we are getting some news out of China. China's they've been their surges in COVID have been going up. They're maybe using this a way to shut down, but that is going to affect the overall markets a little bit because if they shut down, that's just going to put a little bit more strain on supply chain issues. So we'll see. I mean, the markets are under pressure this morning. So we have jobless came on Thursday. So we will see what is going down. As far as the earnings week this week, it does kick off. It does kick off with a few of the banks down Thursday. Remember, Friday, I believe Friday the markets are closed, I believe. So it's a short week. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, the markets are closed. But pretty much short week. Will they take it up this week or not? We're gonna see shortly. As far as market watch in the news, I'm noticing here, this thing with China, they're really shutting down a lot of Shanghai and a lot of different big cities. In the news also, Twitter, Elon has decided not to join the board, so we don't know what that story's developed. If it's mutual, was he kicked out? He was making a lot of noise about Twitter this weekend. But overall, I think that we're going to have to watch the overall market. So let's just dive into it. Last week, the markets, as you can tell, as far as the S&P 500 and NASDAQ and the Russell, the S&P 500 under pressure here. I want to share this with you. Where was I looking at this? Somebody mentioned this to me before. The last time, I believe it was the 20-day, right? So a lot of the moving averages are coming across here. Is this level going to hold, which is around 44.30 on the XPX? We will see if that level is going to hold. If that level does not hold, then we can probably retest the lows right down here. So watch that, and let's see what happens here. As far as the S&P 500, let me look at it from a weekly perspective and see what is going down here. Again, weekly perspective, again, that 44.39, 44.30 has to hold. If it starts collapsing here, more likely we are going to see some weakness. The MACDs are right there. If it's right at that zero bounce on the weekly levels, remember, there's no weeklies. So by the end of this week, we'll know if this thing is going to drop or start bouncing a little higher. I think we'll know pretty shortly at the end of this short week. Okay, so we got the S&P 500 analysis right there. As far as the NASDAQ, again, a lot weaker. It's right at that 50-day moving average on the dailies. If it starts breaking down, it looks like it's breaking down here, breaking down zero, it could probably retest the lows and retest the zero about 13,020. On the weekly perspective, again, this is what I'm noticing could possibly happen to the S&P 500. Can break above the 50-week moving average, and it's starting to break down. So this looks a lot weaker than the S&P 500. So that means a lot of the FANGs are going to be under pressure. As far as the RUT, and remember, we got supply chain issues. So RUT, much weaker. Broke the 50. It looks like it's probably going to retest these lows somewhere in here for later in the week. As far as the weekly perspective, cannot break above the 30-second retracement, and it looks like it's probably going to linger right in this area as far as what we can see. A lot of the indices are under a lot of pressure this morning and this week. As far as the e-minis here, let's find out. I do have the live quotes right now. We're at 44.50, guys. So if this starts breaking down, then more likely we're probably going to start working our way lower. MACDs look very, very weak on the hourly perspective. It looks like we're going to have a second sell-off here. As far as the E-minis, this morning we couldn't break above 44.83. Just remember that this morning we couldn't break above that. A lot of selling pressure based on the news that I'm seeing. Another news report just hit the headline that said that I think, let me see if I can find it here for you guys on Twitter. What was it? German 10-year bond surges to highest level in 2015. Crude for that was right here. Russia, Lacroft says she sees no reason not to continue talks with Ukraine. It's in the double negative, right? But who's counting? Okay. Just seeing pressure here. This can change over the period of the next 45 minutes. So let's see what happens here. But we're seeing weakness bouncing off the 50-day moving average on the 50-minute time frame on the E-minis, working its way lower again. So let's see what happens there. As far as the VIX is starting to climb. Where we were below 19, that was short-lived. We have key levels here. We're gonna put alerts on. So again, if we start breaking above 23.82, 24, then that's going to put a lot of pressure on the overall indices. So watch that. This is climbing 2.78. So again, guys, the 10-year note is climbing. So let's see. It's a very short week. Let's see what happens here. As far as the S&P 500, again, we're on the S&P on the hourlies. We're below the 50. We're right here. If we close right now at 44, if we were to open at 44.48, that's going to put us at 4.58. So we're going to open a little bit lower, right? So 4.48. Yeah, that's what we closed at 44.88. We're at 44.48. That puts us at 44.58 right in here. So we're going to gap down. Again, are we going to bounce higher or are we going to work our way lower? It looks very, very weak. So watch the open, see if it climbs up and then sells off. That could happen. Or does it sell off and climb up a little bit or sell off all day? Let's see at the open. Okay. As far as Bitcoin, again, under pressure too. This is the daily on Bitcoin, breaking below the 50 in this consolidation pattern here. Let's see what happens. It was being bought in this area. Can they reclaim that 50? Don't know. We're looking at it from the weekly perspective here, having a hard time above the weekly 50-day moving average. So let's see if it can linger in this area, and then maybe if it can hold that area. As far as MicroStrategy, it's going to be affected with Bitcoin and Ethereum working its way lower. Let's look at it from a different perspective. I look at it from a different perspective, guys, from this point of view, is because these are more my buy and holders. I hold these a little bit longer. I do sell them, but I just want to buy them at key levels here. On a weekly perspective, having a hard time below the 50-week moving average on Ethereum. Let's see what happens. Can it reverse here? Don't know. All right. As far as opportunities for today, again, we're going to be looking at the 15-minute time frame. As you can tell right off the bat, what I'm noticing, pretty much mostly all the stocks on this page are trading below the 50-day moving average in the 15-minute time frame. So again, with the exception of CMG, but that's how long will that last? I don't have the pre-market things here. Okay, that was interesting. All right, so everything's working its way lower here. Again, Google working its way lower. Amazon working its way lower. Tesla working his way lower. ISRG and CMG. All right, let's dive in to see what we can see here as far as any opportunity. Now, Twitter is being affected. Elon not being on the board. Let's see what happens here. Does this thing run off, sell off? Pre-market here so far, it is trying to rally here, $45. Let's see how high this thing could go. Sold off at 46, so just know that this morning. So if this thing starts rallying, it looks like it probably wants to rally here a little bit, maybe go up to that $45, $46 area. Let's see what happens there. On the hourlies, it looks like it sold off. It's coming to the end, so probably needs to blow off a little steam, maybe up to that $48 area, and let's see what happens there. Let's look at spiders. Spiders. We're looking at it from multiple perspectives here. Okay, so on spiders here, again, key level to watch here is going to be this 44.34, 443.55. If that gets taken out, guys, we're probably going to work our way lower, and looks like we'll probably go a lot lower here. We can probably hit maybe this 441, somewhere in there. So just watch that. That is something to watch for on spiders. On the and it looks like we probably want to sell off. It looks very weak on the hourly. It looks like we still can go a little bit lower. Let's see what happens here. On the 15-minute time frame, looks like we might come up a little bit to kind of regain some strength or continue selling off. If we do continue selling off, we'll probably hit that 441 and then come back up and linger and rest a little bit. Or do we come up a little bit and then sell off at the open? But looking very, very weak. As you can tell, all the legs spread out here at around 449. On the 1 minute time frame, looks like it probably wants to come up a little bit right into this 444, somewhere in there. And let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens there. If this starts coming up, that'd be nice if it comes up to around 444, 46. And then maybe gives us another potential entry to the downside. All right, Qs. Qs. Let's see what happened with Qs. Qs are on the 1 minute time frame. They are basically squeezing here, so it looks a little bit bullish on the 1 minute time frame. So we might pop at the open, or maybe right before the open. Looks like it probably needs to come up and release a little bit of that selling steam. On the hourlies, looks like it probably go a little go. Remember, the Qs got hit pretty hard. So let's see what happens here. But being sold off, trying to rally, 346 rallying into the open. Selling off into the open around 346. Okay. IWM. IWM, same type of thing. Coming up pretty nicely here. Let's see how it reacts around that 197. 197 is going to put you right here. Again, so let's see, guys. So interesting. So interest rates are going up. The Fed has told us they're going to raise interest rate next month. We're noticing the 10-year starting to climb. Why isn't a bank-heavy indice starting to go up? So I think the other reason, the other side of this, is because interest rates are starting to go up. We've seen the APR and credit cards starting to go up. So what happens there? Do people start defaulting? Or people start using less credit cards? But we'll see. We'll see. Price gouging is real, guys. I've noticed it just traveling this weekend. Just going to, and I was at the airport. Okay, I was at the airport, but I bought a $20 burger. It was just a pretty normal burger. No fries, no soda. $20. I believe it was Five Guys. And I was like, okay, but you hungry, so you buy it. But $20 for a cheese burger. It was Oh, there was bacon in there, so I guess I paid a premium for the bacon. But wow. Okay, but that's real. There is some price gouging occurring out there. Let's see what happens here. Tesla. All right, so Tesla on the hourly perspective, guys, looks like it's selling off. That Shanghai news is being shut down. Oh, Moses, $17. Wow, wow, $17 at regular. Yeah, no, yeah, it was like $20. $20. I was like, wow, that was at the DC, DC airport. But wow. All right, so let's look at Tesla. So I got to make some money to pay for the hat burger. All right. Let's see. Tesla pre-market trying to rally here. So that's a plus. Being sold off at 992. If Tesla can regain 1009, that's going to look pretty good. Let's see what happens. Tesla's a wild card. It can rally. Sold off pretty good, man. Somebody's selling off Tesla on a massive, massive level. 1077, 1150, they've been selling it off. So again, coming to the end here, looks like it probably go a little bit lower on the 50-minute time frame. Probably it's going to try to rally into this 992, maybe that 1009 right in there. If we can get above that, that's going to look pretty good. Don't know what's that going to look like. The overall market is under pressure. Let's look at Google. Google sold off pretty nicely here since the last couple of days. Man, unfortunately, I did not play this. I would have played this. I just didn't have my screens with me. But I can only have one eye on one screen at a time. But again, on Friday, you had a nice sell-off, nice entry pre-market. You have to trust these moves, guys. Again, right now on the 1 minute, it looks like it probably wants to keep going lower, guys. Pre-market action is looking pretty weak, and it just started. It just started this morning. So let's see. This is wide apart. Let's see what happens here. I wouldn't chase it. Let it set up for you a little bit better. But we had an entry here on Friday as well. And continue that rally. It looks like we have a secondary sell-off here. And this is what I mean. We had the sell-off here, right? Sell-off here. And then right here is a secondary blow-off sell-off. This is probably going to get bought. And let's see what happens here if it can set us up for a nice trade. Amazon, under pressure as well. Remember, supply chain issues, inflation, and also wage inflation. So, and supply chain issues. So right now, coming to the end here, probably can rally. Having a secondary sell-off here. It's too far gone. The trade is done already. Let's see if we can set these up a little bit better. So at the open, we might get a sell-off, and then maybe we rally, and then we sell off. The one I did want to talk about today was Shopify. They are also announcing a split, or they have announced a split. And we have Shopify. So Shopify will probably rally on that news. Okay, so it is going to rally above the 50. So coming to the end. So this is really, really close, around 606. It is being sold off pre-market at around 640. So again, coming to the end here, let it rally. See how it reacts around 615. Let's see how it reacts around 630. Remember, every company that's been announcing a split, they've been selling off. So again, Google announced a split, sold off. Amazon announced a split, sold off. Tesla announced a split, sold off. This is the pattern I'm noticing recently. And is Shopify announcing a split? Also, is that going to rally and also maybe sell off? Okay, so let's look for the opportunities here. I want this to rally, and then I'm probably going to be looking at to shorting this based on the pattern that I'm noticing that has been happening on in the split news activity. So this is one I'm going to probably be looking at. Let's look at CMG was pretty interesting. Okay, coming to the end, let it rally. See how it reacts around this 1548. which is going to put me right in here. It's having a hard time getting above these levels here. Again, I had a nice squeeze here, squeeze up a little bit here. Let's see what this squeeze is going to provide. I think this squeeze is nice, 1540. For those of you that are looking at CMG, that's the squeeze that I've noticed right off the bat that may occur. ISRG, Tesla. This is the S&P 500 is about to squeeze again, but this market's closed right now, so we have to look at the E-minis. This already happened, so 448. The E-minis are trying to rally right now. They're going to rally into the open. What time is it? It's it's all right. This will probably last about 45 minutes, maybe 30. So right before the open, I think. So let it come up. We need to reclaim that 44.50, guys. 44.50 is going to be a key area for us. All right. That's all we got, guys. That's all we have so far. So I'm going to be looking at Shopify. Let me see. I took off a lot of the other ones because I was only working on a very small screen and could not watch them. But let's see if I can load those up right now. Okay, let's load up those. So these are the usual suspects that we always watch. Okay, so Lam Research, Goldman Sachs might be coming close here. I'm looking at Goldman. Netflix selling off pretty hard. Roku selling off. Nvidia, watch Nvidia. Mercado Libre squeezing. Maybe that's one there. Apple rallying. Apple needs to reclaim that 170. If it doesn't reclaim that 170, that's probably going to put pressure on the market. And here comes Shopify, guys, squeezing based on that news. So what I'm telling you is probably going to squeeze up to the 650. And let's see what happens there. I'm interested to see what happens at that 650 area. If they take it up that high. Goldman. Let's look at Goldman real quick. All right, Goldman. I'm just gonna add another layer. Just want to see where is it at in the daily. So okay, so we're pretty far away here. Looks like it probably wants to rally a little bit. This is the daily. Okay. Okay, so recently broke the 50 on the hourlies. Coming to the end here, could have an exhaustion buy up until 323. See what happens there. 50-minute time frame. Maybe it pulls back a little bit to this around 320, 321, right in there. And maybe it bounces into this exhaustion buy up until like maybe 323. Key level is 323. Maybe into this consolidation area at 328, 330. If it crosses here, it's probably going to return. If it breaks zero, it's probably going to return back to that 318 pre-market. Not enough data here. Let's see what it reacts. Let's see how it reacts here. Just kind of lingering here. But those are the levels here. Let's see. It can have an exhaustion buy, right? Or it can break down and start maybe reset something around 318. Kind of find a balancing act right there. All right, that's Goldman. Again, guys, short week. Be careful. Don't overtrade. Just let the trades come to you. No need to overtrade. All right. So tonight sorry about yesterday for those of you guys who joined my Patreon group. Was in the midst of traveling. Well, so we'll do one tonight. I'll send out the link today. But that's what we have right now. I believe I sent out the levels for the week on Patreon already. I sent it out this morning. I was writing it last night. Fell asleep, but you have them. And again, just let the trades come to you right now. We see some buyers coming around that 446. That 44.50 needs to be defended by the bulls. They need to come in. And we're seeing a lot of activity right now so far, right on that 45.50. A lot of trades coming in right there. The point of control is right there. So we'll know in the next 35 minutes if if the bulls are coming back or not, right? So again, the bulls need to defend 44.50. If not, guys, I'll probably be looking at. Yeah, I'll probably be looking at. You got 440, looks pretty reasonable on the spiders, or 440 or the 4400s on the SPX. 440 looks like a pretty reasonable target to me on the SPY if we're looking to the downside. If this starts rallying, though, let it rally. And if it gets up to 446, then I'm probably going to be looking at 443, 44. This starts rallying. So these are my targets. On the upside, right now where we are, 446 looks like a pretty reasonable target. If it gets to 446, then upside is going to be maybe 449 and 450. Those are reasonable targets if it gets there. All right. That's all we got, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you have a question, let me know. If not, then go out there, go get it. Get your coffee ready. It is 9 o'clock. So, again, do not overtrade. Let the trade come to you. Congratulations to you guys. I've been getting all the texts, the emails, how well you guys did last week. Keep up the good work and go out there, go get it. Just chill, relax, let the trade come to you. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.